Hello, my name is Morgan Gillespie and my group project's name is Starvitech, and we will be expanding our business to the countries of Malawi, Africa and Niger, Africa. And I will talk about the economy and the climate in both of these countries. The economy in Malawi, Africa revolves around agriculture, which supports about 80% of its population. They grow things like corn, tea, tobacco, cotton, coffee, and sugar, along with some other crops. Malawi relies on the harvest of tobacco, and 90% of this crop is exported. And if they were to have a bad weather year, they will lose most of their earnings because this is such a big crop in this country. About 80,000 children work to harvest this crop, which is illegal in this country. Manufacturing in this country is done in a minimal. They do mine, which plays a major role in their growing economy. They have deposits of things like uranium and coal and a few other things. This country has some economic restraints because their economy has grown at an average of 7% in the last year. Also, the supply of electricity, helping the public service, and land constraints are holding this country's economic development back. Farmers also have been given subsidies for fertilizer and high-yielding hybrid seeds, which boosted the food output, but they may not be able to afford this in the near future. And that information was found on SOS Children under Malawi Africa Economy, and that's the internet source. Malawi's climate is a subtropical climate. They receive about 95% of their rainfall during the hot, wet season, which runs from December to April. They also have a cool, dry season that runs May through August, and then a hot, dry season which runs from September to November. And during this season, the temperatures can range from about 16 to 35 degrees Celsius, but at Lake Malawi, the temperatures are around 42 degrees Celsius, so it gets hotter at this lake. Also, this country suffers from floods and earthquakes. And that information was found on SOS Children, Malawi's climate, and that's the internet source. Now, Niger's economy, they have the world's largest deposit of uranium, which is used by nuclear industries. This export makes up about 2/3 of its foreign revenue. And they also have deposits of things like coal, iron, tin, and some other materials. The economic growth in this country comes from oil reserves. Oil production is expected to grow in the next few years. And they have coal deposits to generate power for the mining areas. The domestic economy consists of mainly raising livestock, such as cattle, sheep, and goats. And they also grow things such as corn, peas, and sorghum, which are important agricultural crops. This country suffers from droughts and overgrazing of animals. This growing population in the country has caused a high demand for food. But this demand cannot be met when they have seasons of little rain. And that information was found on SOS Children, Niger Economy and Industry, and that's the internet source. Niger's climate is very dry. In the northern areas, they only receive about 200 millimeters of rain. In the east, they'll receive as little as 20 millimeters of rain. But in the southwest, they receive more rainfall during the months of May to September. This country has a lack of irrigation and a dependence on traditional farming methods, which means there's not enough rain to produce enough food for the people in their country. I think Niger is a good country to move our particle machine to, because their country suffers from food shortages and droughts. And the government has reached out before and tried to find scientists to help overcome their food shortages, but this has failed. So I think Starvitech has a good place to move their business to in Niger. Thank you.